the record's been out. You in Love Again it's an 8-song record produced by Joey
Yes.
from the Sinceres, who to me is like the Berry Gordy of like our time right now, because
Right?
it seems like to me, just from the outside again as a fan, like he's helping this artist, he's doing his thing, he's like, this guy is doing this, and then he's doing
I
this.
talked to him today, and I was like, hey man, I was like, where you been? He's like, I just been busy. I was like, you've been MIA. He's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. So yeah.
I don't know when that guy sleeps, to be honest, because I'll see like him go live. I see him go live, and he's like doing the drums, and then I see him do his guitar, then he's singing back.
He doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep.
It's insane, like, and as a person again that's a fan of music, like I really appreciate that, because you could see that the hard work that goes into it. So, with that being said, how did that relationship start between you two working together on the album?
So I got signed. It's been a year since I got signed, and my label reached out to him to do the project, and that's how it all started with Joey. The first time I met Joey, I went in to sing my first cover song, which was Hypnotize, and There's Something on Your Mind. And I don't even think Joey hadn't even heard me sing, so he was like looking at me and like, "Cause girlfriend sing," So I started singing, and like in the studio, there's like a sliding door, and so he stops, and then he like peeks out his head. He's like, "You can sing." I was like, "Oh my yeah!" I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like what the heck? I think we were both feeling that. We're like, because I've never worked with we're about the same age. I worked with other people as far as recording, and they've all been older cats. So I'm like, oh, okay. But he's so young. So I was like, I wonder if he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I think we were both thinking the same thing. And then after all the nerves went away, like we're so fucking cool with each other.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, and you know what I love about him too is like there's a huge frenzy for modern soul, that sound, that oldie sound. And there are some songs that you have that I'm like, I'm like Googling, like, wait, I'm Googling like the lyrics, I'm Googling the song, like, is this a song that's like a remake? But it's not. Like, it's amazing that it's just the way his style, the music, he really
very
captures.
Unique. Very unique. Yes.
He really captures that sound. So, yeah, man, it's just amazing. So there's Agree to Disagree. That was one of the first songs that I heard from you. Okay. And it was like, wow, like, this girl's got it. Like, man, this sounds so good. Like, your voice is so soulful. And then we got And Only, You in Love Again, and then Forever.
Forever, yeah.
So Forever is the first song, right, that you guys put together?
Yes, Forever, was the first song that we wrote together. And that one, I haven't sang that one live yet. That one gets no love. I forget about the song, and you know what? It's a good song.
Yeah.
It has this little upbeat. It kind of reminds me of the Temptation song "I Want to Love I Can See." So that that part.
Yeah.
And it just never gets any love. But I have to put it on my Instagram or my Facebook. Be like, hey, don't forget about this track. It's gonna be on my 45. The And Only when I brought it out, so you guys could see what it looks like. They're so pretty. I don't know if you can see.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of collectors that are waiting for this one, myself included. So.
And the color, I think it's the color.
Yeah. No, it's always good to have a kind of cool, because when you're spinning that record, it's like, what the heck is that? Like,
is it white?
Black.
Is it white?
Yeah.
Or is it pink?
Pink.
Yeah. Forever was the first one that we wrote together. The second one was Agree to Disagree, and a lot of people ask me like, what were you thinking about with that song? And I think for Joey, I think he was going through like some relationship problems, and at the time, me too. I was going through some relationship problems too, and I think we were so frustrated that it just all came out that night, like at the studio. And I was like, oh, there's Agree to Disagree for that one.
So how does he approach you with the song? Is it like, all right, this is halfway done, it's fully done, and here's the idea, and what do you think? Or how does he work with you on the song?
For with Forever, we actually sat down and we worked on a hook first, and then he was there with his guitar. We did it like acoustic version, and then we got the hook down. Then we did the verses, and then he just started. It's crazy to watch him like in the studio, because he's like, here's here, and then over here, and then over here, and then he's like, oh, but I like this, and he'll start doing all this little, all these little knick-knack stuff, and then he's like, I need a Guido thing. I'm like, does your mind stop?
Wow.
Like he is constantly going. It's crazy to watch him do his thing.
Yeah.
And for Agree to Disagree, like that one was already like semi-made already. He sang the vocals on that first, and then I went back and I just Mariah-ized it and had put my own little twist to it. And that one's a favorite. People love that song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I love I like that song. And so when he's creating like that and he's putting together the instrumentation in front of you, like, are you like, hey, try this? Or you're like, just you do you, boo? What do you say?
I think in the beginning, I was more like, just go ahead. I think now that we're like, we've been working together for a year already, that we're just comfortable, and we're like, I think we should do this. So this new track that we're doing together, it's been like back and forth because we keep on coming up with new ideas. And yeah, now I'm more comfortable to be like, well, what do you think about this? Or like, hey, let's change the notes to this, because he's not much of a runner. Like he does little runs are like, like more R&B. And he's like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, yes, you could do it. Like you could do it. Like just try, but we're constantly like, oh, let's do this. I'm like, let's try this. Or how about this? Before I was kind of like, well, you just tell me what to do. You're the producer, But now it's a little different now. We're just comfortable with each other.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool that you have that, back and forth. And as a fan, hearing that, it's like, because again, I want to hear, you have your songs that are really good, and I want to hear more of you. The covers are great, but I want to hear more of what you got. So that's really encouraging to me that you're not just walking in the studio and like, all right, what do you got, man? And throw it down, It's like, you're adding your 2 cents in there that, for me as a fan, it just gives me hope that it's going to continue to go and go and go,
Yeah.
And then, so the next one that you did was And Only. Is that the third one?
Yeah, so it was Forever, Agree to Disagree, and Only, and Only was another one. And Joey wrote that song. Okay. Joey wrote it. He had his own little like melody of what he wanted, and then I just changed it, because I'm telling you, I'm more of like the big, like to show off my voice, because I know what I'm capable of doing and what I can't do. And sometimes I'm like, that day I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it, and then later on I'm like, why did I do that? I was like, how am I gonna sing that shit live like on a bad day? Because us singers have bad days. And I'm like, damn, but you make it work. He wrote out that song. And Only. It's a beautiful song. That one's like, I can hear like the oldie in that song.
Yeah, it's really good. And watching that video, and this is just, again, as a fan watching it, and I'm seeing you do your thing in the studio, which was so cool. And just the vibe that you give off, and like you're behind the mic and you're singing, it's like a little intimate. And I kind of got a little choked up. I got a little choked up watching that video, because it's just like, wow, man, you just hit some of those notes. It's like, wow.
Yeah, like the and darling, like he didn't have that in his melody. I changed it. So, I Mariah-ized it.